Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with the Last Huntsman Outdoors here, and here I have another knife review, and it's another Reiff Knives. And here, what I have here is the Reiff F3 and Magnacut. Let's try this little knife out. All right, actually let's go over what the Reiff F3 is. So it's like a 2.9 inch blade, so just under 3 inches, has pretty solid little handle on there. So I will be totally honest, this is a little smaller of a fixed blade than what I personally like. I personally like something more of like my size here. So I kind of generally lean more on like the 3.5 inch blade with a little bit more handle and stuff like that. And that's what I even will EDC is something about that size, or something like the Circadian. However, I understand that not everybody likes a more sizable EDC fixed blade, and I also understand that there's a lot of places throughout the country, I call them behind enemy lines, that won't allow you to carry anything much bigger than this. So that's why I think something like this can be actually pretty nice. It's 1/8 of an inch thick, Magnacut steel. From my experience, Reiff Knives does great work with the Magnacut steel. Has pretty nice little Kydex sheath, clicks in really good. Just the most subtle little rattle, but it's not coming out of there, and it's not bad. It does come with this little Kydex belt loop thing. I don't even know why they provide these things. That honestly, I think most people would rather just see a nylon little or leather nylon belt loop thing, or a ulti-clip or something like that. But let's get using this little blade. All right, so this knife is obviously not going to be much of a batoner, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyways, just to kind of see what we can get it to handle. I guess it would be definitely great for like some little kindling type of stuff like this, though. And it's not that the knife can't handle it. The knife can handle it all day long, but it's more so it just can't really span much. Getting sunk in this leaf pile here. So, but yeah, it actually can baton, and it's kind of like a, I would say kind of a medium saber grind. So a grind actually can baton pretty decently well. All right, so another thing I'm going to do is my good old Ninja Death Grip. I'm just going to do some slicing with the Reiff F3. So I will say it is actually pretty nice and slicey. And I will also say too, Reiff Knives have really stepped up their game as far as their edge profile, and just putting like really stupid sharp edges on their knives. And ergonomically, this thing has a small handle. I got medium-sized hands, but it does just actually fit my hands pretty good. Actually, what I would say, what I think this knife really leans on would be like a good, I would almost say that this would be a great like EDC bushcraft knife. Like if you wanted like a small companion blade to like say your Reiff F6 or your F5, and you know, for whatever reason you don't really care for the Circadian, or you wanted something even smaller than the Circadian. Or I would say if you're if you like something smaller for EDC, and or you like the pocket carry, like this with an ulti clip would be an amazing little pocket carry type of blade. But yeah, this is actually a fun little knife to use. All right, here we're going to just do some notches here with the Reiff F3. Oh yeah, pop that right out of there. It's a really nice little square notch. The thing that's kind of nice about the Reiff F3 is, yes, it's a small little blade, but it's a small, tanky little blade too. So it could actually handle just about anything you throw at it, within reason, I'm sure. We're going to do some cross-grain batoning here. And the 1/8 inch thick Magnacut from Reiff Knives holds up just fine. All right, I'm just going to try to do some feather sticks here with the Reiff F3. Okay, so it has a lot of bite, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what it likes. Sometimes I'm bad about putting too much pressure on doing feather sticks, and I need to just remember to let the knife do the work. All right, another thing we're going to do with the Reiff F3, we're just going to try out the sharp spine. So it does strike a ferro rod. I'm not going to worry about getting fire going right now. It's pretty nice out, and my shelter gets pretty hot real quick when I do fire in here. Just going to see how well it does. Has some scraping too. Really nice fluff. So this is like a great just EDC knife for the bushcrafter. All right, we're going to do some cordage cutting here. Glides right through that. This is just cheap rope, but double it up. Glides right through it. All right, so I'm going to wrap up my overall opinion on the Reiff Knives F3. So the F3, I think, is just a great little EDC bushcraft knife. I think it would be like a perfect companion for like something bigger like the F6 or F5. Personally, I lean more on the Circadian over the F3. That being said, I could see where the F3 would be a great blade for people who personally want something a little smaller to use and or carry on a regular basis, and or, you know, God forbid, there's some of those places that you can't carry something even as big as like the Circadian. So this would be a great knife for that size. Size-wise, I'd say it's like right around the same size as like the Essie Azula. However, I think it's a lot nicer and just a lot slicier than even the Essie Azula. That 1/8 inch Magnacut is just a great steel to work with. And I think Reiff Knives, personally, is really stepping up their game. I really like these micarta scales. The sheath is pretty nice. I wish they would have slimmed down the sheath just a little bit. Like I would have personally rather seen like a taco sheath and maybe just include an ulti clip. But that being said, it's still a pretty nice sheath. And honestly, I could also see that you could just almost replace, say, like your pocket knife with a Reiff F3. So say if you didn't even want to carry a pocket knife, you could just always carry the Reiff F3 as just like your one dual kind of knife, which I think would do really great for that. So with all that being said, be prepared, but physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.